Okay, welcome to this week's, day's, whatever, welcome to the video, and today I'm going to show you how to make my own recipe of chilli. Very simple, very good, and believe it or not, the secret ingredient is baked beans. Beautiful. And there is a bit of story about that, I'll tell you in a bit, but after my bolognese video, my beef ragu, I was advised that browning the mince is better before cooking with Mirepoix, okay, which is your garlic, celery, carrot. Now I've only got the one carrot, we ran out of carrots, but that'll do, okay, for what I'm doing for. Let's get on to browning the meat. Straight onto the hob. We've got some oil warming, and as soon as I can, no, that's not going to work. And again, as per usual, I'm not organised and I'm playing all around the kitchen, but I mean, this is normality. Right, oh God. So here's the wonderfully not cheap mince, but it'll do. Okay, it's beef and pork mince, a lot of fat content in there. You could argue that's more flavour, but bear in mind that this is half the price of steak mince, and I mean half the price. Half and more as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to brown this mince off. And while we're browning mince off, let me tell you why we use baked beans. I mean, I do believe quite a few people put baked beans in their chilli. For me, it was what I was brought up on, really. My father wasn't a fan of kidney beans. To be fair, I'm not a fan of kidney beans, but he introduced me. I mean, he uses powdered chilli, water, and baked beans, and that's his. Mine's a little bit of a take on that, but baked beans is still the key ingredients. And I'm going to show you how we're going to turn this chilli into two wonderful meals. Now the thing is, if you are a family that doesn't like spice, then this is delicious. It's a bit, I suppose, it's a bit like a sloppy joe. It's delicious. I know my partner and my little girl don't like spice, so they have this with nachos, bit of guacamole, bit of sour cream, and yeah, that's it now. Tomorrow when we do the guacamole sour cream, it's disgusting stuff. It's a cheap pre-made guacamole. Why? Well, because the avocados were extremely poor quality. So while this is browning, okay, we're going to switch over here and we're going to create our Mirepoix. Now, those that watch my videos regularly know that my children, particularly the eldest, very sensory, and texture in food is a lot, because obviously with the chilli you've kind of got that soft and chunky texture at the same time, so I try to make it as easy on them as possible. And to be fair, I prefer it this way, by blending the ingredients rather than finely dicing. Now, as I say, I'd usually do 2 carrots. I don't have 2 carrots, I only have the 1. But it's all good, that 1 carrot, right? We're not going to go and panic over it. We're just going to make do with what we've got and what we've got in the house. Yeah? Okay, so, oh, I should have my chopping board. Where's my chopping board? There we go. Damaging the kitchen counter there. Okay, so the chilies, okay, I've got chilies out now. Ideally, okay, you'd put them in with the chili, okay, alongside, oh, I've lost it now, but a delicious chilli sauce. There we go. So usually that's going to go in my chilli, but like I say, it's going to be for the first 12 hours at least, it's going to be chilli free. That's just so I can get my children's and my partners prepared, and then I'll throw in, well, pretty much I'll throw in what I actually want to, how spicy I want it. Usually that's about enough. Yeah, so all I'm doing now is I'm just preparing that Mirepoix again, like we did in a video last week. And now, because I'm cooking, the cat's coming in and everybody's wondering why I'm talking to myself, but there we go. So yeah, it's a bit less carrot than what I wanted, but it'll do. That'll do, we'll make do what we've got. Okay. Okay, there we go. Small onion. You know, we're going to do this really, really roughly. You know, speed's the key. Feel like me, I mean, you know, as much as this would be fantastic, realistically, this is never going to be a full-time job for me. It is a hobby. So, along with full-time job, you know, my time, particularly this time of year and coming up to summer, my time is very, 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 very hectic. And for those of you with 2 children, or, you know, like myself, 2 children with additional needs, time is important. So this tends to be why I do my ragouts and everything sort of like over 24 hours in a slow cooker. So I can prepare it the night before, and it's nice and easy to finish off the day after. Now, in terms of this, somebody thought that my ragout bolognese on a budget was, you know, what about the cost of electricity? Well, the fact of the matter is I use a slow cooker, and you'll find, or I find that, you know, my slow cooker can be on for 24 hours and use less electricity than, say, slow cooking on a stove for 2 hours. And I generally mean that. So in here we're going to put lots of garlic. Now, I have said this before, I go for the this is a roasted, an oak smoked garlic, got from the local supermarket, which in my case is Asda. But as I have said, you know, quality of you know, the veg from there recently has been absolutely appalling. Personally, I think the supermarket's gone really appalling since they were taken over. But there's my rant. As to get your bleep together, so to speak, get it sorted, start getting better produce on time and delivered and fresh. There you go. I'm going to knock back like that. So that's my Mirepoix. We're going to hear a lot of noise, so I'm going to actually turn this off whilst I prepare this. See you in a few. And a mince. Oh, the number. Ooh, that's really good. So there we go. There's our Mirepoix already. Okay, it's not to my usual quality. Okay, I think it needs another carrot in there. But to be fair, for what we're doing and how we're cooking it, that's going to be fine. Here's our mince, which we've now got. Oh, there we go. We've got this nicely burning. I'm just going to burn it off a little bit more until I hear that nice sizzle. So apparently what it does, well, not apparently, browning your meat first, it caramelizes the meat, giving it a much nicer flavour, which it does, to be fair. And then your Mirepoix goes in, okay. And what we're looking for, we're looking to soften the Mirepoix rather than crisp it, which is, to be fair, what I've been doing. So hold my hands up, let me know if you disagree, and if you are the sort of person who does the Mirepoix first. We're not going to, you know, this is on the budget, so we're not going to put in, well, lost me speech now. We're not going to put in red wine. You could put in red wine if you really wanted to posh it up, but we're looking for hearty, easy, stomach lining, rim burning, chilli. Excuse the crudeness on that one. Never mind. So that's coming on now, so that's nice and browned. Okay, I'm getting that nice. So what I'm going to do now, okay, I'm going to add this. Now, again, like I said on my bolognese video, people are going to start going, oh, all that fluid, we need to drain it. It's fat. Well, it's not. That's water content from the Mirepoix, okay, and any water that might be remaining, you know, in the mince of the meat. Okay, so there's my Mirepoix, and what we're going to do, we're just going to mix that all in and give that a nice cook through. And eventually you're going to start seeing, in theory, you're going to start seeing water on that. That's fine, okay, that's worth doing. So you might hear me clutter about. I'm one of these people that like to kind of clean as I'm going up. I don't like piles. In fact, it does my head in when I've got to cook in a messy kitchen. Anybody else like me? Like a clean and tidy kitchen before they start cooking? Obviously, yet again, I didn't prep, so I am kind of going a little bit mad around here and wobbling on as I cook. Okay, so we're going to leave that burning on. That's nice. Okay, so yeah, I mean, to be fair, You can make chilli all sorts of ways. Now I know he doesn't have his fans, okay, but there's a fantastic one I've got, fantastic one I do now and again, that uses chuck steak and coffee and dried chilli, and it's fantastic. And love him or hate him, the recipe was from Jamie Oliver's American cookbook, but that is expensive. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about £15 before all your other sides on there. I mean, this is probably, even with, you know, assuming you've got chilies in and chilli sauce, which I use, I mean, you're talking under a tenner easily. The most expensive part is the mince, which is around £4.50. You know, your baked beans are under £1. Carrot, celery is negotiable, you know, not negotiable, negligible in the expense. You know, a carrot's probably about 10p if that. So this is a nice, quick go-to chilli. Okay, if you really want to posh it up with flatbreads, you can do, and I might have to do that recipe one day. But despite me not liking some of his recipes, and Uncle Roger hating a lot of his recipes, Jamie Oliver's chilli is actually pretty damn good. So that's that now. We're going to let that cook down. There's not a lot of water content in there. Okay, so as with the spaghetti bolognese, because we're cooking this low and slow, we can drain the fat. It is going to need skimming, okay, because more fat does render as we slow cook it. If you drain it, you cook it through, well, you're not going to need to skim it that much, but you will need to skim it. So here we go. So ignore me clattering around. I am literally just thinking. In fact, I'm going to turn this off whilst we colour. So here you go. If you look there, you can see this isn't fat. A lot of that's liquid. So we just get down to the bottom. You can hear that sizzle. Yeah, and that's kind of a sizzle that we're looking for. That nice sizzle of the fat on the base of the pan. And now we know that's ready to drain. Not that there's going to be a lot of fat in there by the sound of it. So what we're going to do is we usually do. Okay, you know me, I like to make use of as much as possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to drain this, and last time, unfortunately, the cat got hold of it. But I am going to save the fat, refrigerate it, and then use it as a stock. Sorry, not as a stock, but we're going to use it for the fat. In the roux for the gravy. You know, when you're doing like sausage and mash and you've got limited access to meat juices, things like that, that's where these this fat comes in use. You know, generally you don't really need fat if you're doing a roast dinner, but if you're doing something like anything that just wants gravy, even like chips and gravy, this fat's fantastic to keep. You use it mixed with some flour, put in some good quality stock, and you have a fantastic gravy, and with flavours from this mince and pork, you know, you can't really beat it. It's better than any sort of instant gravy. But as you can see, you know, we've rendered that quite nicely. There's not an awful lot of fat there, but we're going to leave that for a minute or so. That's pretty much it. We're going to add it to that puree, and then get that on for around 24 hours until it's ready. So yeah, now we're going to do it nachos and burritos. Tell me, what do you like to put in your chilli? What do you like to serve with your chilli? Leave me a comment below, and obviously as usual, do hit that subscribe button. You know, I am building a community and your engagement means the absolute world to me. So I'm just looking, we've got a little bit still dripping there, so we're going to leave it. Now obviously, as usual, this might not be traditional, but we're going to stick it back on the hob. Okay, do that, that's nice. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to go in with our, can't help it, I say I don't like to do expensive, but you know, this stuff, when you talk about stuff being the bomb, this stuff, oh, where's my auto focus, there you go, this stuff is the absolute bomb. It takes Henderson's relish, it takes Worcestershire sauce, and it literally kicks them to the floor. It's not cheap, but it's absolutely beautiful. It sets you about 10 British pounds for a bottle, which is 200 mils, but use it sparingly, it'll last me a good few months. So yeah, there you go, you can hear that nice crackling as that meat further renders, we can caramelise this. So we're going to go in with a bit of and 2 to 3, might as well finish that, around 2 to 3 tablespoons, which isn't really playing with me nicely, but there we go. 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, okay. And then the secret ingredient, just standard, okay, standard, when it works. Come on. I don't like Heinz. People use Heinz. I find Heinz too sweet. These are fine. Stanton, a baked beans from the local supermarket. They're going to go in. Please, promise you, this actually does work. I kid you not. Okay, going to give that a stir through. Now that's, obviously, as you can see, it's a bit dry. So what we're going to do, because we're slow cooking it, I'm going to stick plenty of fluid on. Like I said last week when I did the ragu recipe, the day after you might need to. Know what I have forgotten. Anybody spot what I've missed? Do leave a comment below. What have I missed? Well, apart from the obviously ingredients that you'd put in, I have missed, okay, a bit of seasoning. So we're going to put a bit of salt in there. Okay, I will obviously taste it tomorrow for additional, so I'm not going to go too much. Bit of seasoning, bit of white pepper, bit of salt. I use white pepper in this because it gives it a bit of a kick. You know, it is a chili after all. And what we're doing, we're going to add, again, as we usually do, as we will with the ragu as well, should I say, when I find it, I'm going to do 1 stock. Okay, and this is the OXO one. I have moved to these. People use like the powdered cubes. I've moved to these jellies. They do work very, very nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that for a bit, let that stock simmer. We're then going to cover it up. Slow cook it. Now, obviously, if you wanted deep flavour, 24 hours, this point you'd put your chilies in, whatever chilies going for. I've got a few just bird's eye and some standard chilies from the supermarket, and I put this stuff in. It is absolutely, in fact, anybody in the UK, get to his website, Daddy Cool's Chili Sauce, I think it's .com. I'll leave a link in my description, but this stuff is the bomb, okay? It's not made from extract, you know, you have these chili flavour, chili sauces that are just spice, you know, and hurt. Don't get me wrong, these are spicy, and he's got some that you will feel, but they're just so full of flavour. And this is his blood orange boot jalokia, and it's absolutely delicious. It adds a unique sweetness to a chili, okay, but you can put your own chili sauce in, you know, whatever you wish to put in. After all, it is your meal. Right, I'm happy with that. Okay, we're going to leave that for 24 hours now. So all that remains for me to do, when I can find it, is put the lid on and come back in 24 hours later. See you soon. And oh, there, yep. I didn't think I would have gone. And this is a good 12 to 14 hours later. Now, as you can see, a couple of green chilies in there and a delicious Scotch bonnet. And now I'm going to add some of this beautiful sauce that I talked about yesterday, the blood orange boot jalokia. Give it a good splash of that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let that simmer. Now it looks a lot less than what was originally cooked, and you'll be right, and that's because I've removed quite a bit of it for the children and the partner who, as I explained yesterday, don't like it spicy. But that's going to now stew for another 6 hours, and that's going to be delicious. And that is going to be turned into now 2 teas. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get our nachos ready. Now nachos are incredibly simple. You can choose to air fry these and you can choose to do them in a deep fat fryer. I think one day I might just have to do both and show the difference. But just for ease, because I know what I'm doing, I suppose, I'm just going to do these in the air fryer. Bit of light issue, you'll have to bear with me, and that's because of the... That's a bit better, isn't it? So that's easy. And now we're going to cook these into nice wedges. That's it. And these are so easy. And do you know what? Even if you're not having chili, these are absolutely fantastic to have as a snack. You know, the versatile you could make just some cheese nachos, bit of cheese whiz, I suppose, if you want to make your own cheese sauce with some jalapenos. We're going to have it with chili. We're actually going to cover these in paprika and salt, so they can be eaten after if they wish. I'm going to serve it with chili, sour cream, and because I've got some decent avocados there, I'm now going to show you how to do guacamole while we wait. So you're going to have to excuse my picture taking while I just literally get some of a thumbnail, and there's a reason for this, okay? So to go to that, that's fine. I've got some daft music on in here whilst I cook. Let's do this. This can go to one side for later, that's fine. And what we're going to do now, we're going to get our avocados ready. Avocado. No, we're going to do our guacamole. So for this, I mean, people have their own, again, their own variations of this. Oh God, that camera angle's shocking. Yeah, you can do your own version of this. I mean, people put chili in theirs. I say, my family aren't massive fans of spice, or should I say, if I'm cooking with children as well, we tend to leave spice out if we can. But it's incredibly easy. And yes, you know, you can buy shop pot, okay? Shop pot guacamole, but it's not as nice. And despite it being a slight bit more expensive to make, okay? I wanted that on there for now. We're going to make it because it's nice. You can have that bit of chunk to it, and it tastes fresh. It tastes so much different to, you know, like the shop bought guacamole. But there we go. You want it to be a bit spun. I don't know if you probably can't see it there, but there's a bit of a give to it. You want them a bit soft. A little trick though, if your avocados are a little bit hard, whack them in the microwave. Yes, okay, it warms them up, but it does soften and it does tenderise. Again, just taking a quick and this is as hard as it gets. I'm just going to do that out, done. Going to get rid of that in a food bag. Almost take my hand off because I'm trying to just pull it off with a knife. Oh, this is bad organisation today. Right, there's my first one. And all we do, it's nice and easy this. We're just going to go like this. We're going to go there, there, round. That's it. And all you need to do now is in a bowl. This, watch. It is as, and if it's ripe, there's going to be absolutely no give to that, and it's just going to literally fall off. You might get a little bit piece that you've got to slide off, but with it being ripe, it's not going to take that much effort. Now, I'm not going for any, you know, perfection. This is all going to get mashed together. You know, are you team smooth or team chunky? I mean, I tend to like a little bit of chunk in my guacamole. Do, you know, leave me a comment below. Team chunk. Team chunk? Team chunky or team smooth? these are, oh, just lost that one. Just wiping my hands. It's got guacamole all over. Guacamole, it's got avocado all over it. And they're beautifully good at this time of year. My son, he's only 3, but he absolutely loves green. So he likes, you know, green veg, likes green, you know, guacamole. He loves it. So this, you know, that's 2 relatively large avocados, and that's going to serve at least 2, if not 3 of us for the 2 meals that I'm doing on the chilli. So just going to leave that there for now, and what we're going to do, coarsely chop. I suppose it doesn't really matter. I know there's people that don't like coriander. Fortunately, other than my little girl that's, you know, very fussy, coriander in our family is vital in some dishes. And I'm just going to rough it, as you know, because the thing is, these are going to get chopped and mashed anyway, so you don't really need to think. But we're looking for roughly half and half again, and that should give us and there's no finesse in this. Okay, we are just literally chopping them. I mean, I prefer cherry tomatoes. I like the sweetness that they give. You can use beef tomatoes in this. I suppose you could even use whole tomatoes. Again, you know, your recipe, your food. You put in what you want to put in. Just going to do a quick wipe. And if we're that, and tip when we're doing onion, always leave that bit on one side of them on. Makes it so much easier to chop. So we're just going to peel these, take that tough bit of skin off. Now again, I do try to show how I chop, but my knife skills are absolutely atrocious, and it doesn't really help that my hands hurt regularly. So again, usually I'm not perfect. But we made 2 horizontal slashes. You could make 3 if it was small enough, and we're then just going to dice it like that. Okay, and there's our simple diced onion, and obviously we don't want to use as much as possible. Okay. So again, I'm going to do this by eye. Usually, doesn't need no thinking a bit more. I'm not going to quite put a full onion in, but I will, because what I'll probably do is I'll use this later on, I think. I'll use it in another dish during the week, just something that I can throw in an onion in. And that'll do for now. That's enough for now. Over there we go. Okay. And now that's really it. That's the guacamole done. Okay, a bit of salt in there. And then obviously a piece that just lifts it and gives it that nice flavour. Okay, juice of 1 lime. Oh, let's say. Again, me showing my useless hand skill. Okay, I have washed my hands, so it's alright doing it this way. Now, pestle mortar, the best thing to do for this is to get the, I think it's called mortar, I think, and that'd be the other way around. And all we're going to do is literally sometimes nothing more relaxing than some music on in the ear. And cooking. And on a beautiful day like this, nothing can be better. You know, what a way to relax. And now by this point, we're hoping, okay, we are hoping, but in theory, our deep fat fryer that we're now preheating, okay, is going to be ready for our nachos to be fried. And it is a simple job, this. So there you go, look at that, absolutely stunning. Now, like I say, you might want a bit of bite in yours, add a chilli, okay? Okay? The spice never done anybody any harm, and especially the guacamole sometimes goes really good. And a quick one for the thumbnail later. Right, as you can hear, that water's about to run dry on that, okay? Just not catching, but it is kind of beginning to stick, so we're going to turn that off straight away. Oh, and as per usual, I'm not organised, but I'm going to cover that up, move it somewhere cooler, and that's it. We can now leave that for 10 minutes, job's done. Next comes just literally making a burrito, but there you go, there with chili, okay. I'm taking that off the heat as well, that's going to be fine, particularly as it's going to go into the air fryer. And I'll be back in a minute to do that. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do it. I probably won't use all this rice, okay, but that's there, look at that, absolutely beautiful. In fact, I probably will need all of it. Let's do that for now. Let's get it in, let's see what we're going to get. Because I kind of want that nice, because the last burrito I made it was a bit white. Look at that, oh. I think that will do nicely. You can see the little bits of red, those little poisonous bits there. Not poisonous, those little fiery kicks. I don't know why I said poisonous, I genuinely didn't mean that. So what I've got here, on top of this now, we've got my wrap, which you probably just heard, shoved in the microwave for a few seconds to warm it up, soften it up, and then this is where the fun begins, if I've got enough hands. So what we'll do, I need a bigger spoon, a spatula, and here we go. Oh. Lots and lots. I wanted a little bit of sour cream. Do I want sour cream? I think I do, but not too much. Because with a bit of cheese, it's going to be moist as it is. Just enough. Oh, I'll do. Yeah, get rid of that yellow part. Lots of cheese. I hope this folds. This is either going to look a disaster or it's going to look alright. Oh. Now I'm never, I've just had a little bit of a lick of that chilli. Whoa, that's the likelihood of me eating all this, especially now I taste that spice. Oh, that's gonna be that's a fiery one. Whoa, a fiery one. Indeed. Definitely going to need that guac. Definitely going to need that sour cream. need that cheese. Look at that. Beautiful. My, admittedly getting better, my wrap. Burrito wrap skills aren't good. So there we go. These are going to go in for, oh, that one's unwrapping. We're going to go in for about 10 minutes. No over that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in for 5 minutes in the air fryer. Around, I'll do about 180 because I don't particularly want to, I don't want to scorch these really. So, air fryer on. 8 minutes. 180, go. Right, I'm tuning out. I'll be back when they're cooked. Okay, and I guess there we go. I'm just going because I don't know why I'm doing this because I'm not going to eat it all. I'll probably end up putting half of it away and having it for lunch tomorrow. I don't know why I'm doing that, but never mind. We're making a bit of a cock up of serving this. That. Now, I don't do many, but I personally think that's a winner. What do you think? And there you go. There's my 1 set of ingredients and what turned into actually 3 different meals. We have our chili with nachos. We have our side kind of lunchy dish of nachos with guacamole, and then these beautiful burritos with guacamole, homemade and sour cream. Absolutely delicious. Whatever's on your plate, do eat, enjoy what you eat and eat what you enjoy. And the only question I have to ask, as usual, for anybody that's not following is why not give me a subscribe and leave me a comment below. What's on your plates? As usual, don't forget, wherever or whenever you are viewing this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe. Click the links to the right to see some more of my beautiful, delicious recipes. Give that notification bell a ring to be informed of future content. And last but not least, comment below what's on your plates.